Welcome to Meditation Monday. Today I thought we would explore a form of prayer that does not use words. Now I know if you're like me, you often think about prayer in terms of words, in terms of the things you're asking God's help for, the things that you want, the things that you're giving thanks to God for, or even you think of prayer in terms of what God is saying to you. But today I want to invite you into a different way of prayer that uses imagination as the primary vehicle for communication with God. Now, this simple way of praying, of imaging as it's called, is a really lovely way to invite God in without all the expectations and words that we normally use. So I want to invite you to find a comfortable place to sit with your feet flat on the floor if possible and your hands in your lap. And we're going to relax and slow down our breathing. Now you can do this in one of the ways we've done it in the past, either by inhaling and feeling your chest fill with air and your shoulders rise and holding your breath to the count of 3, and then exhaling and repeating that a few times, or maybe you simply sit still for a few moments and feel your breath slow down. So relax, get comfortable, and slow down your breathing. After you feel your breath start to slow down, I invite you to become aware of God's presence around you. You can imagine it as warmth or light or glory. Imagine it as God being with you, and let God fill the space around you where you are, and let God fill the space inside. And when we imagine God's presence, we are not alone. We are gathered together with all God's children across time and space and held in this divine embrace. Now, if you're like me, there are often people who are close to your mind or your heart throughout the day. And so I invite you to imagine one person right now. Choose one of God's children in your life who is in need of healing of body, mind, or heart. And I invite you to imagine that person right now in your head. And once you can see that person in your mind's eye, lift this person into the presence of God's light. Visualize God's love bathing the person, penetrating their defenses, dissolving pain, cleansing wounds, whatever it is that has brought them to you in this moment. Imagine God's love surrounding it. You can use the image of darkness turning to light. You can use the image of ice melting. You can even use the image of confusion being ordered. But imagine this person, visualize them in God's love coming to the places that are hurt or broken or wounded inside of them. And as you imagine this light or this love entering them, imagine them now, see this person in your mind's eye in a state of wholeness, in God's light, newly created, fresh, beautiful, as though you are seeing them through the eyes of divine love. as though you are seeing them as God sees them. And now I invite you to ask God that this beauty, this love, this divine healing be fully realized in this person according to God's design. Thank God for whatever gift of healing is given. And then release the person who you've been imagining in your head, this person in need of healing and wholeness. Imagine releasing that person into God's care. Trusting that God will be present with them, even when you cannot be. Now, this exercise of imagining someone or imaging things into God's presence is really just a way of using your imagination to activate prayer in your life, visualization, right? And you can use it in lots of different ways. So we used it together today to imagine healing and wholeness coming to a person who's close to our heart, who's deeply in need of God's presence in their life. But you can use it, right, in the same way to visualize relationships that might be broken being restored. You can use it to imagine animosities or hurts or angers being dissolved. And you don't have to try and manufacture results. Like, you don't have to imagine it so deeply that it actually happens. But what you are doing in the envisioning is asking God to take hold of this moment, this person, this relationship, this piece that's broken, this hurt, and to do the work that God does, the work of healing. So thank you for joining us for Meditation Monday. I invite you to continue to tune in each week. We'll do different practices together, but I invite you to continue to try imagination and imaging in your prayers as a way of deeply connecting with God that doesn't involve words, but imagines a future full of possibility for yourself and for the rest of God's beloved creation. Thank you.